All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm covering tonight how to expand your brand. First and foremost, I'll talk about a little bit about what branding is, because people confuse that. They think it's the logo, and it's not the actual logo. There's a lot of other components to actually what branding is. And then I'm going to get into brand expansion and brand extension, and what those two components are, and give you some ideas on and examples of how you can expand your brand, and some real world examples of how others have expanded their brands. And if you have any questions as well on that, this is part of what I do as a brand strategist for my actual clients. I help them think of out of box ways to actually expand their brand. Now, I'll go ahead and get into it. So, brand expansion is basically that: expanding your brand, expanding your reach, expanding your audience. And there's ways to do that. You can, get PR done, show up in some magazines, go to events, be a speaker at events. You can also get on podcasts. There's different ways that you can basically expand your audience outside of who your current clientele is, and that's always good to generate more revenue and what have you. So brand extension is actually a little bit more than that. It's a little bit further than that. Not only does it expand your audience, but brand extension is actually expanding your current offerings, your current product line. Going into new product category, or just coming up with a totally different product as well. So those are ways of doing a brand extension. So it's a form of brand expanding. So brand extension is a form of brand expanding. So a little bit about myself. I am Tamara Marlene. I am a brand strategist and graphic designer. I've had my company for 19 years. And it started out as just graphic design, but as I've grown and changed and learned, I really learned how to and fell in love with helping people from beginning to end of the process. And I love that feeling of having clients being so excited about their brand and seeing it grow from a baby to something much bigger. So I've been doing that for quite a while, but in recent years, I've been coaching more. I've been doing more consultation on helping people expand their brand, and also do brand audits as well, helping people decide on, is their brand actually speaking to the right audience? Is it actually cohesive across the board? Is it giving the right tone? The right message? Is it actually on point with how you thought your brand was going to be as far as your mission statement and your values? Other than that, I'm a complete entrepreneur. I also have a t-shirt line, a clothing line that is about to relaunch. I have a partner coming in on that, so I'm excited to announce that. Hopefully next week we'll be announcing that, and some things will change with that. I'm also a visual artist. I actually do art. In fact, I don't know why I picked today to do this, but I wanted to kind of wrap up the week since we had some great presenters during the week. But tomorrow I actually have a artist market, so I'll be selling some of my artwork. And I'm also a published author. I'm a published poet. I've been published in different things. And then I'm also a podcaster. I have a podcast called Entrepreneur Shit Happens. Some of you ladies have actually been interviewed or are going to be interviewed. I know Miss Santana will be, her interview will be later this month. So we're on everything from Spotify to Apple Podcasts. So that's me in a nutshell. So like I said, let's get into it. So brand expansion is basically to help you grow as far as your audience, as far as your clientele, and also to help you as far as revenue as well. And like I said before, you could get part of expanding your brand. You could go on podcasts. You can get write-ups. You can be a speaker at shows, at expos, or what have you. Just different general things that people think of. But brand extension, not too many people think about that, and I love coming up with out of the box ways to go into new product category, to actually go out there. So why do you want to do brand extension? Well, the benefits to doing brand extension is because it diversifies your offerings. It gives you more than one. We want to niche down, but we also want to expand at the same time. So there are ways to do that. You still have your target audience, you still have your core product, but there's ways to expand within that. And then it also increases your market share and also gives you a competitive advantage. Think about your competitors. What products or services are they offering that you don't offer? Are they things that you might want to offer? Or are they offering things that you think they should offer, but you haven't got into that? So there are some things to think about that. Some ways to do your product extension, your brand extension. You could do the product extension, and an example of that is like Colgate toothpaste. Colgate toothpaste, it started out as a toothpaste, but now they have mouthwash, they have toothbrushes, they have other things that go together with that initial offering of the toothpaste. So that's a product extension. Then you have the line extension, and the line extension, it kind of makes you think of a product extension, but basically think of it this way: it's variations. It's offering variations of what you have. So say, for example, if you make smell goods, if you make a skincare line and you decide to come out with a formula especially for sensitive skin, that is a line extension. Then there's also franchising. That's another way to expand your brand, is to franchise. And then another option is to do what is called a distinction extension. And that's where you target a specific population. So what I mean by that is, for example, say if you, for example, I'll use my brand, for example. My clothing line is specifically for entrepreneurs. It celebrates the entrepreneur life. So a distinction would be if I decide to offer items specifically for kidpreneurs, for kid entrepreneurs. That would be a distinction. That means I'm still within my niche of entrepreneurs, but now I've expanded to offering, having things specifically for kids, which I actually do. So that is a distinction expansion. You can also do a lifestyle expansion. And a lifestyle expansion, basically it's where if your product or services is targeting a specific lifestyle or embodying a certain lifestyle, you may actually want to offer things that add to it, that coordinate with that lifestyle. For example, Dooney and Burke, everybody knows Dooney and Burke, purses, right? But if you didn't know, if you didn't go on their website, they also sell shoes. They also have some other items. So for example, so they're a luxury brand. So for them, if they were to go into watches, luxury watches, that would make sense because they're a luxury brand, even though they're a purse company. So that's a lifestyle expansion. So all those are ways to extend your brand. So I just wanted to give you guys some ideas on that, because a lot of times, like I said, I deal with entrepreneurs, I deal with business owners who are just trying to really think of a way to have a competitive edge, and what else can I do? What else? How else can I expand what I'm doing, expand my reach, and also generate more revenue? And some of the benefits to expanding your brand and using a brand extension is because it builds upon your current reputation. It builds upon your current client loyalty, and that even builds on that. So they already trust your judgment. So you come out with something else, something new, they're going to be hype about it. They're going to jump on that. The only key that you want to be aware of is that it only really works if the new service, if the new product, it complements something that you already have, something that you already do, especially when it comes to quality, or that it shares the same characteristics of something that you already do. So basically, it has to be logical. It has to make sense. I talk about it all the time, how a lot of times people talk about 7 streams, 7 streams, 7 streams. And so you have some people, not knocking you, but you have some people that are selling lashes and doing taxes. Well, how do they go together? It is possible to have 7 streams within the same line, within the same business. Your 7 streams do not have to be 7 totally different businesses. And I always use myself for example. I'm a creative, so I do the graphic design. Well, from the graphic design, I started making graphics for t-shirts. So within that, I have that. Now I have a podcast. Well, the podcast talks about things that entrepreneurs deal with. So that is an extension. It's all about entrepreneurship. So it's an extension on that. It just makes natural sense. And it's logical. Where brand extension fails is when you do something that's totally unrelated and people get confused. You create confusion. You get negative feedback from doing that. They're not, they're not understanding, like, why are you doing that? An example is some of these fast food places where they come out with, like, say McDonald's does tacos. Like, I think they did actually come out with that for once, but something that is totally outside their realm. Yeah, they're a food business, but that's so totally outside their realm. It's always a flop when they come out with something so completely out of the blue that people are not used to. So you have to be careful with that, because it could actually hurt your reputation, and it actually could cause oversaturation. And what I mean by that is people get tired of seeing you. You keep coming out with this, you keep coming out with that, you keep coming out. People get tired of seeing that. So that's something that you want to think of. Brand extension is just basically brand stretching. That's what another word they term for it, stretching. So you're just stretching out what you automatically do. So here are some examples that I want you to think about. Is like when I talked about offering, you could offer the original product or service in a different form. So a real world example of that is, think about all the chain restaurants that we go to, and think about all the ones that now you can go into your Publix, your Food Lines, your Harris Teeters, whatever grocery store you go into, and you can go and pick up that same thing. For example, Panera has their soups in the grocery store. Phillips, the seafood restaurant, they have stuff in the grocery store. White Castle. So these brands have done an extension where the same offerings that you can get in their actual physical locations, you can get somewhere else. So it's not necessarily reinventing the wheel. They're just offering their same product in a different way. PF Chang is another one. Another example of a brand extension is doing a matchup. Basically, think of like ice cream. Breyer's ice cream. Well, they have one that's cookies and cream, but their cookies and cream actually has real Oreos. Now think about all those off brands, they don't have real actual Oreos. So this actually has real Oreos. So this matchup is actually good for both brands. So that's another way that you could do a brand extension. You could pair yourself with somebody else who has a good reputation, that has great customer loyalty, and is a well-known brand, and that complements you, and y'all can go hand to hand. One example of that is, say, for example, if you are a marketing business, maybe partner with a graphic design business, and y'all to create a package where people can get both of your services together. So that's a service-based extension. So you're not only being exposed to their clientele, but they're being exposed to your clientele. So a partnership, a matchup where it makes sense, and it just extends what you do in your offering. If you are a product-based business, for example, you could always, if you say you have a boutique, a clothing boutique, will partner with an actual shoe boutique owner, and y'all could make a monthly box or some type of trying to think of the word for it, but some type of like monthly stylist package, something of that nature, where people actually get the best of both worlds. They'll get a nice pair of shoes from the shoe boutique, and they'll get a nice outfit from your boutique, and that will be the best of both worlds. So a partnership with that. So that's a brand extension. So those are some things. And like I said, to give you some real world examples of how some brands have expanded. I mentioned Colgate earlier, how they started out as toothpaste. Now they're mouthwash and toothbrushes and all these things. Well, also you have like Nike. Think about Nike. Nike started out as shoes. Well, now Nike has clothing. You know, they have all these components that go with their sports shoes. They have sports clothing, athletic clothing. So that is an extension. So there's no reason why, as actual small business owners, why we can't do those things. So I have a few more examples, and like I said, this is something I do for my clients. Just if you have questions, if you need ideas, you can jump on this live even after the live and ask for suggestions, and I'll freely give you some few examples. But if you want to actually get a full consultation where I actually break it down, I do a review of your clients, of your social media, of your whole brand, and I'll give you an actual detailed specific. Right now I'm just giving general, but if you want that, there should be a link to this live that will take you to my actual branding company page, and you can set up a consultation with me, or you can always message me as well. So here's an example for some of you ladies. If you're a makeup artist, you could actually start offering skincare, come out with your own skincare line. Or if you are a makeup artist, offer your own lashes. Hey, Santana. So if you're a makeup artist, this is how you can expand your brand. Offer a skincare line, because it's very important for those that it's really important for those that get their makeup done, that they know how to actually take care of their skin properly when they're not seeing you. So coming out with a skincare line, coming out with some how-to videos, a subscription service. These are some things that you can do to expand your brand and not just be a makeup artist. Offer classes to help people teach them how to do their makeup when they're not able to see you. That's a service that you can offer. So brand extension is already taking what you already offer and just going a step further, just expanding it. Another one is like a service-based business. You could create a magazine around what your service, what your core product is. You could create a podcast like I did, create a podcast. You could even create a subscription service for what you do. So think about something that is your most valuable product that people always seem to get. So what can you make on a monthly basis? So for example, for my graphic design, awesome. So for my graphic design, I actually came up, a lot of my clients for a while were, they do social media, so they were boutiques. So instead of them constantly having to repay me, do contracts and everything for new graphics, I came out with a monthly subscription service where they get unlimited graphics for a set price within a month. And all you have to do is do a 3-month contract, and they get unlimited graphics. And it's perfect for a service-based business that, or not even service-based, for a product-based business. Like I had boutiques and stuff that use social media a lot. And with Instagram, you'll always want to be posting on Instagram. So you're going to need fresh content. So I started a subscription service program for those businesses. So that's an idea. Thank you. So you have a service-based business, Santana. Which one? Because you actually have a couple of things going on. So which one do you think you want to expand on? Which type of business? What's the category? While I'm waiting for that, another suggestion is, for a product-based business, you could also do a subscription box. Now, one thing is I have a subscription box, and I actually teach people how to do it. And one thing that you want to be aware of, there's a lot of costs associated with it, but you also want to think of the frequency of when you come out with it. You don't want to be overcommitted, and doing a monthly subscription box is going to overcommit yourself to actually get in all the items or make all the items to go in the box to send out to your clients. So for me, I started out quarterly, and you can always start quarterly and then go to subscription box for business consultant. We could work that out. We could figure that out. It's a subscription box for a business consultant. What the key to doing subscription boxes is that you want to make sure you provide value. So take a stock of what your clientele so far to this point has asked for. What have you noticed that they constantly are in need of, and how can you offer it to them? So if it's not an actual physical box, then maybe a service, a monthly service, where you take basically their pain point, and provide them with something on a monthly basis. So for example, your ebooks, Santana, you could actually do a monthly subscription service on ebooks. Have one where, okay, for $35, you're going to, every month, you're going to get at least 2 ebooks on these categories, on these topics. Whatever topics is your number one driving topics that everybody seems to eat up, then do that. Or you can do it like one of my clients, she sells fragrances, and I told her what she could do is a fragrance of the quarter instead of a month, because it would be a lot on her. Do a fragrance of the quarter and then send that out. That would be the subscription. So for you, I would do it where I would see what ebooks are selling the most, and then you can let them know ahead of time. Okay, you could do it theme wise. Okay, for this quarter, we're going to do business books. We're going to do marketing business books for this quarter. So for that quarter, that's what the subscription is going to be. It's going to be 2 to 3 ebooks on marketing. Then with AI coming out next quarter, you could do 3 books on AI, how they can actually access AI and use AI in their business. I was talking to an interviewee earlier today, and we were talking about, like, I use Otter to transcribe the audio for my podcast. Then I throw that transcription over to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will give me quotes. It will give me episode descriptions. It gives me all the information. So there's ways so that's a book within itself. If I had the time, somebody else can take it, run with it. But so basically, that's how you can utilize the subscription service to your benefit. Even if you have a service or product, there are ways to do that. And that's all brand extension. Like I said, brand expanding, just is growth. But extension is where you take something that you currently have and either you offer it in another format, If you have the skincare products, offer it as a sensitive skin product, or you partner with somebody, or you do a totally new product, but it has to make sense. And one thing that we fail to do as a community, we fail to do research. So before you jump out there, do research, do market research, even ask your current clientele, would they be interested in this? Would they? So before I came out with my subscription box service, I actually did a whole year of research, and I even polled people to see what price point would they go for. Would they go for too low, too high, middle ground? I knew what price point I was thinking of, but I needed that feedback. So do your research before you just jump out there. Another example that I wanted to give, because like I said, I wanted to not just tell you what extending is, but I want you to actually think about it and get the ball rolling, because this is something I do for my clients. So say, for example, you sell lace fronts. Why aren't you selling hair care products? Why don't you have a monthly box of essentials for them to take care of their units? Because the thing is, at the end of the day, yeah, you want customers to keep coming back to you, but it's that your brand is based off of the value that is perceived by your clients or your intended clients. So you don't want to shortchange them where they have to come back. What you want to do is overextend yourself. So then if you offer a monthly service where they get actual essentials to take care of the units, they're still going to come back. And they're not only going to still come back, they're going to spread word of mouth, and they're going to also, get that monthly subscription to take care of the units in between the times that they see you. So that's a way. You could do a box with the tools to take care of it. You could do the accessories, hair accessories, clips, colors, whatever to go with that, with the hair, so that's an example. So like I said, these are things that I work with my clients on to help them think of out of the box ways to extend their brand, because when we say 7 streams of income, it does not have to be 7 totally different things. You, in one business, you can have 7 different streams of income, from holding your own classes, from publishing your own books, from offering accessories. There's so many different things. So that's why I felt it important to come on here and talk about extension, because a lot of times when you hear 7 streams, people are off. Like I said, we're doing lashes and taxes, and that doesn't correspond. If you do it, that's fine, not knocking your hustle, but a lot of times we stress ourselves up by doing too much. We take on too much, and when you have 5 different businesses pulling you in 5 different directions, you get overwhelmed. But if you just have 5 different things coming from one main stream, it's a lot less pressure. And then a lot of times we have people say, well, celebrities do it. But if you actually look, they didn't come out with those other brands until one was well established and they can move on to the next. And that's what we need to do. So I help people think about ways that they can just capitalize on their already clientele base, their already loyal clients, their already brand knowledge out there, and just expand it. The key takeaways to this whole thing is that whatever extension you do, it should be natural. It should be complementing. And don't forget, like I said earlier, it does not have to be something brand new out of the box. It could just be offering the same thing that you offer. If you offer something in red, offer it in pink. If you offer a normal skincare line, offer sensitive skin. It doesn't have to be something completely new and different. It could be a new product or service, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a new flavor. It could be just a new version. And then you can also do a matchup, a partnership with somebody that complements what you already do. So, like I said, if you are a shoe boutique owner, get with somebody that has a clothing boutique and y'all come together and make a package. One of my partnerships that I'm working on right now, we had to put it on hold for a little bit, but one of them is with someone that does skincare packaging and everything, and that is going to go along with some of the clothing that I'm gonna do to help take care of yourself. So you gotta feel good on the inside and out. So that's one of the partnerships. So just make it make sense, because one of the downsides, if it doesn't make sense, you are going to confuse your customer base, and you actually could lose customer loyalty. And then also, a lot of times, that's when people fall back. They'll say, oh, they doing too much. I can't fool with them no more. They doing too much. So just think about that. And like I said, research, research, research. So that's basically what I was talking about. I didn't want to hold you guys up. Like I said, I mainly just wanted you guys to chime in, and if you had any thoughts or needed help on ideas for brand extension, I'm more than willing to give you that. Anybody catching a replay, you can definitely put it in there and I'll answer it. Again, it will be more generic, but if you would like a consultation with me and I get more specific to your specific brand, I definitely am willing to do that. But there is no reason why we cannot expand our brands and just expand our market expansion and our revenue. And by doing a brand extension, that's what you're doing. You're expanding different ways to make money. You know, like I said, doing the books, people do it all the time. Doing the books and the coaching, that's two other ways. But there's other things that you can do, like subscription box services and subscription services, period. So, but that was it. I hope you gained some knowledge from this. I really do believe you should have, like I said, everybody thinks a brand is the logo, and it's more than that. It's about the value, the perceived value, and your customer service and what people think of your brand. And you just have to continue to grow. You just have to think of ways to extend, to stretch out your brand without stretching it to the point where it pops. So that's it. You are so welcome. You're so welcome. I'll be around. Like I said, tomorrow I will be at a artist market in Charlotte. So once I hop off of here, I will be doing getting my table together and packing stuff for that. So wish me luck. My first one as an artist, as an actual painter artist. But yeah, if y'all respond on here, I will, as I get them, I'll respond. And like I said, I'm more than willing to help you guys. I want to see us all grow. That's it. Good night, guys.